Oh, good, you're here. Come on. This is the centre of performance. Whenever there's a top performance in New Zealand, it all comes from here. That's Lisa Carrington. She's been doing that for days. That's the boy who got the hole-in-one in Taupo. Oh, he did it again. Hey, Finn, how's the performance going?
Top tier.
Nice. This is our Generate room. In here, you'll find our top performers helping Kiwis maximise their KiwiSaver investments. Get in here, Finn. Maximise.
Right,
Generate. Putting performance first.
Mark Wilson, welcome to my podcast.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
I'm happy to have you here. You got this new book out, Wobbles. Where did the nickname Wobbles come from?
The people who are watching this will probably work it out. But I was listening. I have cerebral palsy, which means I move around a lot, quite a bit more than most people. That's why I'm so skinny as well. It's not because I'm underfed. So yeah, Wobbles just is a nickname that was brought up, and I thought, you know what, it describes how I move, and it was sort of one of those things. You know, I did get bullied a lot, so I was just taking away one name, I guess, and owning it myself.
Oh, so reclaiming it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Are there any other names or words that you've reclaimed?
But I don't get offended very easily. Most I like to have a bit of a laugh, you know, and just words, I get, just with my movements, more like how I move, how eating can be quite fun to watch. So, quite often my fingers get described as a bag of twisties, which cats and dogs love, especially if they're affectionate. But like I say, I do like to kind of have a bit of a laugh with most situations. I feel like no matter what the situation, if you can sort of see any funny joke, makes the difficult parts a little bit easier to deal with.
My hope with this podcast is that, first of all, it allows people to get to know you a bit better because you're a good bastard. And secondly, it gives people a greater understanding about CP and what it means to live with CP, because I think a lot of us don't sort of have an understanding. So it's great to have you here. And your book, by the way, amazing, Wobbles, so people can look for that online and buy it online. Yep. But this is apart from the beginning of it, which sort of sets the tone for the book. If I'm going to tell my story, it's not going to be depressing. There won't be any feeling sorry for myself. I'm not a whinger, and I try to stay positive. And that sets the tone for the book.
Yeah, like I say, it wasn't going to be what I was saying. I'm very much a look at the bright side, and I believe that if you can't laugh at yourself, or then what's the point? Everyone kind of has things going on, things they don't like about themselves, or but it's not. I don't tend to take myself too seriously. I like to focus on what I can do rather than the things I can't do. And I wanted that to come across in the book. Yeah.
Oh, and it did come across, very, very well. Fuck, there's some good stories in there. some of it I'm reading, I'm like, why would he choose to leave this in?
Yep. No.
Actually, I've got a visual show and tell thing to begin with. What are these?
Paper clips, my nemesis.
What's the significance of these little plastic things?
These paper clips, well, now they're paper, which is even worse. But yes, bread clips are my nemesis. So,
why?
My fine motor skills are the most affected of my cerebral palsy. So for me, trying to take a bread clip off a bread bag involves your two, index finger and your thumb, which mine don't do as they're told, ever. So yeah, if I try to make myself a sandwich, I end up with a deconstructed, piece of bread that I'm trying to push out a tiny hole, or I just grab a knife and cut the bag open, and then all the bread's ruined for everyone else. So yeah, they keep the bread fresh, but whoever invented those does not have cerebral palsy at the front of their mind.
What other day-to-day things that some of us would take for granted that you struggle with? Like, can you do up the buttons? I might ask some really dumb questions here, but I promise it doesn't. I was going to say it doesn't come from a place of ignorance, but actually it does.
That's fine. That's why I'm here. Ask away.
Can you do up buttons on your shirt?
I cannot do up buttons. So as much as I would like to sit here and look all sexy, my partner was not keen. So our morning routine looks quite different to a lot, and it takes a lot to get me to, as people see me here and at work. My partner has to prepare my breakfast and then also feed it to me because I can't feed myself. And then obviously, to get ready for work, I have to button my shirt up before I leave the house. So there's certain things like that which I guess are not quite normal for everyone else. I always have to be conscious of, okay, who's around, how can I get what I need today? So I need, food to get dressed for work, and how is it going to look? I guess my life revolves around being reliant on other people, which is quite, it's hard. I obviously prefer to be a lot more independent, but that's not the case. But yeah, it works, and I want to be part of society like everyone else, which is why when I'm outside of home, you won't see a lot of that going on. When I leave the house, I'm prepared. I have everything I need to get me through that day or that event or whatever. But and obviously coming home from work, Elise is there. My partner is there again to feed me. We're lucky that we have. My mum and dad are still around, and her parents as well, and, because I don't want my partner to miss out on things, going away with the girls or with work, because she feels like she has to, feed me or be my helper. I didn't want to help her, I wanted a partner.
Yeah.
So that line can be quite blurred, but we're lucky to have mum and dad around and to kind of step in when so at least can still go and do those things.
Yeah.
Just as I can. So it's we make it work, and like I say, it's all because I feel like I don't have any excuse not to be out there working, contributing.
I mean, there's not an ounce of self-pity from you, but it's a rough hand to be dealt because everything is that much harder. But it's worth pointing out, like you're an incredibly smart dude, like in the top 15% of your classes at university. You got a business degree. You work as a business analyst at ANZ Bank. You're a smart guy and you're a contributing member to society. But everything just takes that much longer. It's rough.
It is. Yeah, it's rough. And I don't like to dwell on it, but I do like that the book has kind of opened a little bit of a window into what it's like, and I guess talking to on these kind of platforms is not a really great way just so people can just pull the curtain back and say, holy crap, to think that at work they see me as a colleague and probably no idea what goes on to get me to that point. But no, as I said before, I don't like to dwell. We do it, and I don't feel I have any excuse not to be out there.
So you've got your license. You drive your own car.
Yeah.
Is it modified or anything?
I was quite fortunate. My father, in all his fatherly wisdom, decided that before I could walk, I was going to drive a go-kart. I didn't walk till I was 6 years old. Daddy got me a go-kart at 5, and he was sort of like, well, if he's not going to walk, he's still going to get around somehow. Which made it a lot easier when it came time to get my driver's license. And that is one of the things that really changed my life. It gave me a whole new independence, because I'm so dependent back then on my mum. And then I was just like, all of a sudden, wow, I can take myself to school. I can go and see my other family members. It was really cool. So quite fortunate. I aced all the driving lessons and tests and all that. And my dad also is into cars, so I'm very as well as the daily runner, I own a V8 Holden Kingswood, 1973. So.
You're a bogan, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You're like a massive bogan.
Bogan or Aussie or whatever you want to call me. I prefer bogans because I'm definitely not Australian. But no, it's good.
Full transparency, I drove a Holden as well. I didn't realise it was a bogan car until I got it. I got a Holden Commodore. And my sister said to me, she goes, you're a cub. And I said, what's a cub? She said, it's a cashed up bogan. But you're, I'm not a bogan though, but you were a full bogan. Your favourite band's Devilskin.
Absolutely.
You've been to more Devilskin concerts than maybe the bass player of Devilskin.
Probably, yeah.
Like 100?
It's insane. I think I went to 3 of their concerts on one of their tours. So it's just a bit nuts. But I love rock music. Devilskin was kind of coming on the scene when I got into rock music, and I just was like, oh wow, these guys are cool. Oh crap, they're from New Zealand. Like that's even better.
And massive Greg Murphy fan. He was probably your favourite athlete growing up. Have you met Murph? Do you know Murph?
I have not met Greg yet, and it would be great to be able to, or even give him a copy of the book, because he does get a mention.
He gets just about as many mentions as your mum. You're so thirsty for Murph.
He was a childhood idol. He was Dad loved V8s, and he was the Kiwi driver. So he was like you said, childhood idol. Growing up.
So there's a phrase that people use these days when they talk about different sort of I don't know if disability is the words, but if you talk about ADHD or you talk about autism or you talk about CP, there's a phrase that people use. They say it's a superpower. Have you heard that?
I've heard it. I don't quite.
Would you say it's a superpower?
I haven't quite got uncomfortable with anything, but I haven't quite. I guess you could say own that word yet. It's not really. I think some of the things that I can do because of my cerebral palsy could be a superpower. Like
what?
I can cut the lines at the airport. That's awesome. People love travelling with me because it's like, boom, just get marked. So, yeah, straight to all the cues. Probably not after this, but everyone knows my secret now. But
And you got when you were little, some of your poor behaviour got let off. You were excused.
yeah, there's a bit like that. I had a teacher, that was my mum actually made him discipline me because he wasn't going to. But but his mum got in there and made sure I got the same punishment, which is good. I want to be treated like everyone else. But yeah, back then I was like, come on, Mum, what are you doing? But no. So the word superpower, I think in the context of what I can do, because of it, that some people can't maybe, but I do like that it's a good word that is associated with disability. Because quite old stages like cripple or handicap, they still carry some kind of negative, and people can become offended by those words.
Yeah.
I certainly got called a lot of those things. But yeah, so I guess any word that empowers disability is great, far better than the ones that I just mentioned.
Yeah. Oh, well said. All right. Let's go back to the early years. First of all, Mark Wilson, what are your earliest memories?
My earliest memories, and you got to be careful here because I've obviously read my own story from the aspect of my mum, so try not to make up my memories. There's memories of being fed back then, I had a bottle from my dad. That was always one of my favourite times in the morning. In our old house, that would probably be one of my earliest memories. I did a lot of therapy as a kid.
Yeah.
Not therapy as we use the word.
Like physical therapy.
Yeah, physical. I don't actually have a lot of memory of that, and I'm not sure if that's because I was young or because it was a traumatic time for us. Which I think I'm quite lucky because I've only got good memories of both my mum and my dad as a kid, but it was very different for them. So I think that would be the first kind of, just in the lounge with Dad. Yeah.
Because in your book Wobbles, there's sections that are written by your mum and sections that are written by your dad, and the work they put in to create the man that's sitting in front of me today, it's tremendous, eh? It's a tremendous. I suppose sacrifice is the word. Like the outcome for you at birth was that you'd be unlikely to ever walk or talk.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
So my mum and dad were told I would never walk or talk. And they also told don't expect much. Like what does that mean? Don't expect much. That's. And Dad saw he was really, he doesn't like not being able to do anything. He's like, there's got to be something I can do to help. And they had no idea of what my future looked like. They just wanted to do anything, something. And yeah, it was a sacrifice. The fact that they're still together is an absolute miracle, and there's no other way to put it, because I know families that didn't do a program but have disabled children, and it's just, unfortunately, it becomes too much and you get consumed by it, and unfortunately, there's a highlighted separation of...
Yeah.
But yeah, my parents, they stuck by each other, through some really tough times, and I'm very thankful. I was born into amazing parents. I know it's my story, but I just reading it from my dad's and my mum's perspective, even made me think like, would I be that dedicated? Could I do what they did if I don't have children? But could I, would I be willing to do what they did to sacrifice so much? And it's a question I do
struggle with.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because it was.
I think you just would. It's unconditional love at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
But,
Yeah.
There's in the opening chapter from your mum, Shirley. There's a quote here, which is just fucking heartbreaking. I was such a bad mother, a complete failure. Every night I hated my son, and I hated myself even more for hating him. Yeah, like when you're reading the draft of the book. And you read that, how do you feel?
I read it, this is going to sound weird, but I read it as though I was reading it from an outside. It didn't really register that was my mum or she was talking about me. I was just reading it as like anyone else would read it. Mm. And then there was like the second part kicked in, which is what you just alluded to, was holy shit, that's my mum.
You're talking about me.
That's her story, and that's what I led her to feel like that. And I got, not that it was my fault, but I didn't feel bad or like hated or anything. I was just like just felt, I felt sorry for her, and but with me, I'm like so thankful because I know she didn't do all that and go through those difficult times, and as you said, I wouldn't be here talking to you like this.
Yeah, no, if it wasn't for the hard work, your life would look completely different. Is there a moment, like, do you remember the first time that you became aware that you were different?
Yes, I do. The therapy involved 30 volunteers coming into our house every week. Wow. We worked 4 hours a day, 6 days a week on doing exercises. And that was up until I was still 6 years old. So from birth till 6, I had just been surrounded by people that knew the situation, knew me. I had this great village, I guess. And they were all there for one goal, and that was to get my heart talking or walking or whatever. And then when I went to school, a mainstream school, we had a walking frame, and no other kid had walking frames. I had a teacher aide, no other kid had teacher aide. And I was like, alright. I always knew, like Mum and Dad, I knew I was different because I had cousins and stuff, and a sister. But I never really, I never sunk in that I was actually not like everyone else.
Yeah.
So yeah, thankfully primary school kids are more curious than anything. They see someone like me and they want to know why. They ask really, you would think they're rude, but they just want to know.
It's innocence.
Yeah, it's so innocent. And once they know, that's it. They just want to carry on. They want to play, or it's so easy. So my primary school was filled with lots of fun and friends, and there was, as you go through the years, everyone knows who you are, and the young ones will kind of get older. Yeah, it's smartly, don't believe or whatever, because half the school are its mates. So, stepping out of primary school into college was where I really it really set in for me that okay, I'm a hell of a lot different.
Yeah.
And like, since that point, my cerebral palsy was always viewed as a good thing. Like you said, hey, maybe that word is good, like a superpower, I guess. And then it was quickly turned around, and I guess it was the butt of a joke at school. It was, it was the most low-hanging fruit, I guess. And,
Is this secondary school we're talking about here?
Secondary school, yeah.
Did you spend much time like wishing things were different or asking why me? I mean, you're such a positive guy now, but were there periods or patches?
Like kind of a what if thing?
Yeah, or just like why me? Why?
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Like even today, I want to go and have a pie, and but I can't do that. I carry on, but in those years, definitely, lying in bed, didn't want to get out of bed because I knew what school was going to be. And you just look at everyone else at school. You got 1,200 kids, and here I am. It's like, well, how did I? What? Yeah, so absolutely, I had that. Why me? It pissed me off, but I think my upbringing is not to feel sorry for yourself, and I never really let it get beyond that, and chose to focus on more positive things.
Yeah. How the bullying at school. What did it look like? What were they saying or doing?
You get bullies, and you get the ones that not many brain cells to put together. So they say what they see. It's like retard, or that was a big one, or and some of them got quite clever. I remember when KFC did a promotion on boneless chicken. I got called boneless chicken for quite a while, yeah. I was like, shit, girl,
That's not bad. Original.
So that one stood out, but the big one was, spastic, handicap, retard.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it was what it was. I had quite the vocabulary as well. So I wasn't one to just take it. I sort of used my cousins to go out on the farm, and they had they're older than me. They taught me some colourful language out there. So yeah, I would always fire something back twice as bad as what they would, and I'd be the one that got in trouble for it. So it's like,
you sort of allude to this in your book, but it's the way it's written. It's very politely, but this is a podcast, so it's the Wild West. Anything goes. What were some of the retaliations? You'd say to them that you fucked their mum.
They were something very similar to that, yeah.
What exactly?
It'd be, I'd get called something, and I'd say, your mum was loving it last night. I used to get more, the main bullies were the girls, and I thought I would say, you wouldn't even get too old as a hooker, or So they call me a retard, and then I'd fire back with that, and because it was in the pitfalls of this,
Sometimes you'd even say to the bullies that you'd done sexual stuff with their dad.
Absolutely. Nothing was off limits, right? You have a go at me, I'll have a go at you, but be prepared. I think one girl even she started crying. I was like, hang on, you're the one that having a go at me. and you can't cop it. Don't dish it out. So yeah, they were some of my more out there comments that would land me in quite a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually it was just a lot of swearing at them, or drop the C-bomb in there and stuff. It was. I don't feel bad for it. And it doesn't help. I still got bullied. I guess it was a sort of a small win type thing, but I think looking back, maybe I don't know if I would have handled myself any different.
No.
It was at the time, like I say, gave me a small win, but I can put up with named Corey. I don't. That's it. Like, fuck whatever. The more listeners, the better. That's why I like the kind of thing. But what really got to me was the social exclusion, and it was to the point where the bullies would bully anyone who even tried to talk to me or become my friend. So that was what got me. And unfortunately, I'm not sexist, but it was the girls. Like, guys just say something, you punch each other in the face, and you carry on. But, man, girls get really nasty. And, so why would you come and hang out with Mark if you're going to get bullied for it like that? So yeah, that was a new one for me, because I'd never experienced that before at primary school. So yeah, that was probably the toughest part of it.
Yeah. So were you there? That was the worst time of your life, would you say, through high school?
Well, definitely one of the worst.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There were people in the school, I guess, worried, but I wasn't a telltale, because, like saying, I always see something twice as bad back. So if I tell someone, they've got ammunition as well. So I should have just shut my mouth, but here we are. But so no, it was definitely one of the tougher times. They were concerned. School counsellors got involved just on my part, but not many people, I don't think anyone knew. My mum and dad didn't know until they read the book. So
oh, really?
That was probably the hardest bit for both mum and dad to read. Like, they were just getting told, Mark's not doing what he normally does, or Mark did this to someone, and I would just take the punishment.
Well, why did your parents not know until the book's coming out? Because when you read the book, you get a sense of your upbringing. Your parents, as we've established, they did all they can to give you the best life possible. They didn't want you to be treated any differently. There were even times where they forced the school to punish you because the school was going to... Why didn't you go home and tell them what was happening at school? It's almost like you're protecting the bullies in a way.
Well, like I said before, I said something twice as bad, so it's like I'm going to get myself in trouble as well. But I guess I'm just not really a telltale. That was sort of that was where it come from, and I think also I thought at the time that would bring more attention to me. Like, if that was happening, the school were very quick to put it in a newsletter, like, we don't tolerate this.
Okay. Yeah.
Or make a big statement at assembly. I'm like, I don't want to be singled out. Like, that's why I'm getting bullied in the first place. Like, it's, I don't want more. So yeah, that's why I didn't really tell anyone. Yeah.
What about you had a teacher's aide? Where was your teacher's aide when all this was going on?
Again, I sort of hid it from her as well.
Oh, okay.
At lunchtimes, I didn't have a teacher aide.
Yeah.
And I guess they didn't really know me from primary school, so they kind of maybe thought this was, my behaviour was just me. That was how I was. No, I don't blame anyone. Like, the schools are always, they do their best, right? But in my view, there'll always be bullies. No matter what you do, every school has them. Unfortunately, you've got to find your own way to kind of cope. And look, absolutely, education is great. Knowing that it's not okay, that's great too. But the best thing you can do is just try and find something that you love outside of that issue, and just focus on that. Just go for that. And you've got amazing parents or someone around you. That's what kept me going. Was I had this amazing network outside of school. So I was only at school for so many hours a day, and after that I had a great network of people. I had my family. I was doing cool things. I did my best to focus on that side of my life, rather than getting bogged down in what was going on at school.
What would, from what I can gather, I think I may have read this in your book, there's something like 1,700 people in New Zealand with CP. What would your message be to like any younger person that's still going through school that has CP? What would you say to them?
Exactly that. It's just, find something that you enjoy, or focus on the people who do love you and support you. And you don't need to worry about the other people. They're not going to be in your life. School's only for 5 or 6 years. They'll probably go to clean the toilet somewhere after,
or be hookers.
That's right. Yeah.
Fucking savage. Actually, there's even a story you told a stranger to fuck off when you were 4.
Yeah. I think Mum tried to cover that one up and was like, no, that's not what he's feeling. But yeah, it was exactly what I said.
How did you know the F word at 4?
Like I say, I had older cousins. And Mum and Dad's language wasn't the greatest thing. I didn't see swearing as bad. It was just in context, it's okay. And we just got brought up with it.
It was like you were born a bogan, eh?
But having 30 strangers, volunteers, they were strangers, we used to advertise in the paper for help with my therapy. So, and there was no police betting back then. So it's just like, we're taking anyone we could. You want to pull up with my son for an hour? Yeah, go for it. And they all had colourful language and stuff. But they were all of them were such amazing people. I just love that they're part of my story and journey. Not one of them was had neither experience, nothing. We were very spoiled who we got coming to our house. It was great.
Yeah, so these volunteers, so that's, I guess this is like the late 90s, early 2000s?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, what was in it for them? Just a sense of goodwill? Giving back?
Yeah, Mum was always really big on, she hated me, and it's like, why would any other person come and willingly choose to be with my son? But the world is good, and this is why I I love doing what we're doing. I love talking. I love hearing people's stories. I love sharing mine. Is that there are such good people out there. And it's like you're right, Tom. They did it for just the good of there was one man who he just said it changed his life by helping me change his life. He wasn't very present with his kids back when they were young, and he kind of saw it as a not making up, or maybe making up for that. And it's so you don't know what people's reasons are.
Yeah.
We were just very thankful that they were there. And yeah, I'm still friends with some of them today, which is good.
Yeah. Just back to the bullying thing. So after leaving school, like, have you bumped into any of these bullies? You seen them in the wild?
Not really. I did get one of them a few years ago. Maybe it was after a concert. I did bump into at the end. I bumped into a few at a concert or out in town when I was 18, 19. And I was fortunate to have my own friend. I had a good friend group after school. And yeah, they wanted to come up and pretend everything was great. And it's like, hang on, you were a fucker. I'm not going to talk to you. It's like, I remember what you did. And they sort of, they wanted to talk because everyone was like, I was having a good time with people. They kind of try and get in, and it's like, no, hang on, I'm not, there's no, I know what you did. And I haven't run into many, but definitely a few. And it's been interesting how they just very short memories.
You wonder how they reflect on that time, and maybe they've minimised their own behaviour, or maybe they feel guilty for being assholes.
I do have a good story. When I first moved to Auckland, I moved out with my mate, but he went away and lived in the UK. And he was my carer, so I got another carer, and he was actually a bully from my school that bullied me.
Oh.
And the first thing I said to him when he walked in, I'm like, you used to bully me. And he goes, yep, I was an absolute dickhead at school, and I'm so sorry. That's the only time he owned it. He's just like, I was a prick. I was an absolute, he said the C word of a child. He just owned it, and we became great mates. Like, he was such a good carer. And we joked about it, but after that, so that was the one moment where, someone has actually owned it.
Yeah, the impact, God, kids can be so cruel, eh?
It's the teenagers, man.
I'm getting upset just thinking of it. Yeah. Teenagers, you think they'd know, that's an age where you'd know better. But I suppose I don't know.
You're a lot more socially aware of of your image, which I hate. I'm such a big advocate for being yourself, being genuine. And unfortunately, the way the world is right now is going everything against that. You're always trying to recreate someone's Instagram page, which ain't life. It's a snippet of, it's the good part of
highlights reel.
It's not life, but unfortunately we live in a world where kids are striving for that. And when you're at college, it's not very good for your image, but it wasn't when I was at college to be hanging around with a disabled dude.
Yeah, it's frustrating though, because from what I know about CP is like on the inside you feel completely normal, but it's just this this disability or this condition that's visible from the outside. But anyone that takes a moment to and it does require a little bit of patience, like to get to know you or to get through that, you get to meet a really good bastard.
I think that is my, and I will call it a superpower, is that I have an amazing filter for bullshit.
Yeah.
Because as you just said, once you take some time to get to know me, listen, and you work out, I'm just like everyone else. Cool, this guy looks like a good bastard. Let's go have a beer. That, and the people that don't hear me, or they'll talk overly or at me, and I've said something and they'll answer with something completely different. It's like, okay, you haven't taken the time to try and understand me or even ask me to repeat myself. It's probably a little bit of insight into the kind of person they are. So I'm left with like this pool of just really good people that are genuine, and I say definitely a superpower. I can spot bullshit for a mile away.
Yeah. 3 years of experience. You weed out the fakes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
When do you think your mum's been most proud of you?
That's a good question. Maybe the moving out of home. Possibly the jobs at the first job at gym and then the second job at ANZ. I guess they were the things that you could never imagine in those times that you talked about before. That if someone told her that I was going to work in the finance department for New Zealand's largest bank, she would have told them to fuck off.
She thought they're being cheeky or something.
Or just, I didn't want to hear it. No, and I think, and I have just bought the house, and she loves to see me and my partner and my partner's 2 kids. They just love to see me in a home with a family, I guess. I think that's what she'd be most proud of.
But there's so many like milestones that you've accomplished in your life that would make her proud. That's why I thought that's a reasonable question to ask, because there's little things like, I suppose there was a period there when you were little where both your parents thought this is going to be their lot in life, like looking after you. So to see you fly the nest and have this independence, it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It was kind of a double-edged sword for Mum though. Like that was her. I was her life for 23 years. Like, her life revolved around me. And then one day, that was just not there. And poor timing, my sister, who is able-bodied, she moved out 2 weeks later. So Mum, we really ripped the Band-Aid off.
Yeah, actually, we haven't mentioned your sister. So, a couple of years younger than you, she gets a bit of spotlight in your book as well, and she explains, the difficulties of growing up, being an able-bodied younger sister to an older brother with cerebral palsy. Like, you got more of the attention, and rightfully so as well. But it's it's just a perspective of it that I suppose most of us don't even think about. But it's really interesting.
Yeah, I'm really amazed at how she, all the way through her parts of the book, it's very obvious that she doesn't blame me. She knew that I needed this attention. She still felt annoyed that I was getting it, but she never hated me for it.
Yeah, well, I can understand like the element of jealousy, but then you think, would you want to swap places? And the answer would be no,
but
right?
As a 5-year-old, who thinks about that? Like she was always my friend. Like when we were outside of therapy, or if it was just us, we'd still play together. Like she didn't have this hatred for me, even though I was getting all this attention. And I think that's quite big of her, and speaks to the person that she is. Because you do want mum and dad's attention when you're growing up, and they did their best to do it, but it was tough. So yeah, I'm really taken back by how she still stayed. My friend. She wasn't angry. She didn't resent me for it, and she still doesn't.
Yeah. When flip side of the question before, when has your mum been least proud of you? And before you answer, I'll give you a second. I've got a bit here from the book.
I know what this is.
I did worry about his friends who derived great pleasure from taking Mark to some rather inappropriate places. I think to satisfy their own desires rather than Mark's. What, strip clubs?
Absolutely. Yeah, they took great joy in being the first one to take Mark to the strippers. Yeah. Well, yeah, it was so they got more attention, because, it's like the opposite to school. He's taking the disabled guy into a strip club, and he gets all the attention. Look, I was a normal 18, 19-year-old, just like everyone else, and and I think every mum would say the same thing about their 18, 19-year-old son. It's which again but that's cool too, because she went from holy shit, is my son ever gonna walk? Is this gonna be my life? To fuck, he's at stripping.
My son's a pest.
Yeah. No.
He's gone too far.
So see, you asked her to pick here. But no, I think that's no different to any mother.
There's other stuff in the book which I don't know if your parents knew about or if they read it for the first time in the book, like your experience with dating apps and losing your virginity.
Yep, it's all in there.
Yeah, You actually, do you know the band Lonely Island?
Yeah,
it's like
briefly.
Yeah, like you cover 2 Lonely Island songs. I'm on a boat and I just had sex.
I have to look those up. It could be my new theme songs.
Yeah. So, do you want to? I'm assuming most people listening to this podcast or watching it haven't read the book Wobbles yet. So, do you want to talk about the virginity story?
I'm happy to talk about whatever.
Yeah. So you're on a family cruise.
Yep. Yeah. What a great way to lose your virginity.
So your mum and dad have a cabin. You and your sister have a cabin.
Yeah.
So you're how old?
19.
19. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, that was not the best ideal setup for it. But I never thought it was ever going to happen, so I didn't care. But yeah, we at least expect today things happen.
Why did you think it was never going to happen?
The experience was school, 19, so I was just out of school for 3 years. That was still, I had really good friends, but yeah, just a bit on the dating apps as well. I would tell people I was disabled, and then they would, oh yeah, I'm fine with that, and they'd meet me, and all of a sudden they were not fine with it. I think cerebral palsy, as you said before, is a big spectrum. The best way I described it is like I walk and talk a bit differently on the movement, so that's it. But I drive a car, I work, but I guess it's not the way you see it.
Yeah, and you've got a devious sense of humour as well.
Yeah. No, that's why I thought it would never happen, just because of bad experiences and, but thankfully, hopefully there's curious people out there. I think that was just what it was. Someone looked at me and thought, oh, I haven't had that before.
She wanted you for the bingo card.
That looks interesting.
An Australian girl.
Yes, yeah. Tried to buy me a drink. And I said no, which I don't know why I said no, but the first time, and then caught up with her a bit later and had a few drinks, and she asked me if I'd ever been kissed before, and I lied and said no. I said yes, and so she kissed me, and then she goes, oh, have you ever had sex before? I'm like, oh, honestly, nah. She goes, oh, do you want to? I was like, fuck that. Yeah. So yeah, in all my excitement, I went to the wrong room and couldn't get in, but eventually found it. And yeah, no, it was, did the day, and then I left New Zealand a boy and came back a man, I guess it was, yeah.
Yeah, so your sister was still out dancing or partying on the boat. So you had the room. Did you tell your parents the next day?
Oh, hell no.
No?
I think they kind of knew, not Mum, but I was with Dad and his mate when the girl approached me the first time. And I said no, and Dad goes, mate, why you say no? I think they like you. And yeah, maybe there was a big smile on my face the next day or something. I was sure Dad put two and two together. But no, Mum had no idea until she read the book.
Oh yeah, what did she say about it?
We haven't spoken about it.
Oh, you're a nightmare. You're a handful.
I think, I don't know if she's read it. I think because I told her what chapter it was, so that she had the option to skip it. I don't know. I reckon she would tell me she skipped it, but I think she read it.
Oh, that's a great story.
Yeah,
and you do talk about the dating apps, and there's I'm guessing it's a fake name, but there's a girl called Angela that you talk about, and you go through the chatting process. You move the conversation over to WhatsApp or whatever, and then you meet a couple of times, and then she sends you like a message saying it's just too much. I can't do this. Yeah, how do you feel with that? Like does it fuck you off? Do you understand that it's a bit extra to deal with in a relationship?
I know I'm a lot, and it really upset me because I was. You see other people out there, and you see some absolute dropkicks, and they've got amazing partners. And you're like, fuck me, dude, I would treat someone so much better if I had the opportunity. So that was what really annoyed me, was like, I had so much love to give, it was hard, and I'd had it said to my face, it was like, oh, yours is too much, and I was like, oh, okay, that's, I can't help that. You can't really blame people until they see you, I guess. And look, I did have a girlfriend off Tinder for a little bit, but it wasn't really like what we both wanted. But no, it did fuck me up, especially, as I said, so many people were dickheads. It's like, here's me, let's go. Okay, I can't feed myself, or I look a bit funny, but I can still, talk to you, listen, care, all that. And I also thought maybe some of it was when you're younger, maybe girls are looking for potential fathers or people that can protect them and their family, and I'm probably I have the figure of a toothpick. So that's not really, I don't scream like good things, or,
I don't know, if I broke into your house and I saw you coming at me in the dark, it's probably quite intimidating.
And my undies,
Oh, Jesus, there's a thought.
yeah. But no, it was really difficult. Yeah.
But you met the right one. I found this photo online. This is Elise.
Yes, the lovely Elise.
Yeah, so she's sitting out here watching this at the moment.
Yeah.
How does she feel when she hears you telling stories about the virginity?
She'll probably have a go at me later about that. But I'm very used to being in the doll box, and that's why I have a bar at my house. But
tell me about her. How did you guys meet?
I did a lot of charity work, and it was an event. And as I say, I go to these events a lot. It's just a bunch of mates. They're all about 20 to 30 years older than me, so but at this event, I always happened to be there, and she was the closest one to my age, and she started talking to me when I walked in, and I sort of went, oh, she's talking to me like I should know who she is. Shit. All right, I'll keep going with this and see where it goes. And the night went on, and we saw her, she was leaving. I said, would you like to go out for dinner sometime with me? And she goes, yeah, sure. And I went, can I get your number? Add you on Facebook? She's like, Mate, we're already friends on Facebook. I'm like, oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Yeah. Do you not know me? I'm like, yeah. So we met up after that, and actually, she said I was allowed to say this. So it was the same night, and she left, and I think she texted me straight after, and she's like, where are you staying? I'm like, I'm staying here. She goes, oh, yeah. And I said, I'm like, I'll just invite her back to my house and see what happens. So I said, how about we go back to mine and have a few drinks, and I'll get an Uber and pick you up. She goes, yeah, great. So I was obviously so excited. I left my keys back at the party. So we got to my apartment building, and I couldn't get into my apartment. So our first encounter together, I had to ask her to pretend to be my carer and ring the security down and be like, oh, he does live here, he left his keys, please let us in type thing. And it probably blossomed, and 5 years later we have a house, and she's she's very supportive. I think the difference with Elise and any other encounter or Tinder thing I've had is that Elise, she knew me, and she's seen me be fed and stuff, and not that she thought we were ever going to get together, but that was always there. So the whole cerebral palsy conversation doesn't have to happen.
Yeah, she knew what she was signing up for.
Yeah.
So what does she have to? So she buttons up your shirt. Yeah. Does she brush your teeth?
No. Believe it or not, I can brush my teeth without impaling myself.
sorry again.
Toothbrush. But it's weird what I can and can't do. So I love to be asked, so don't be sorry. I'll probably get in trouble because I would have forgotten half the stuff that she does for me. But yeah, mainly feeds me, gets me ready in the morning. But even all the little things that we take, I can't cut my nails, so or if I have something I need some help with if it's on the computer or whatever. She's my hands, I guess. Yeah, I try my best and do some jobs around the house, but yeah, she's my primary. I hate the word caregiver because when I met her and things were getting wrong, I made it very clear that I didn't want a caregiver. I had one. I wanted a partner. But her love language is acts of service, and so she wants to do all these things. And then she also felt like when it got further down the track and we decided to move in, she doesn't, she wants to take care of me. Like, she kind of...
She's just nurturing.
Yeah, and she prides herself that she can do it better than anyone else. And I'm more comfortable when she's there than... I just want to be fed, but I'm a lot more comfortable if she knows how I like it. Like, it's not, some people would think I'm fussy if I want veggies before my steak. They're like, oh, just be thankful someone putting food in your mouth. But Elise thinks about, like, how do I eat? Oh, actually, I don't actually give Mark the option, so she'll ask me, oh, actually, what do you want to start with? It's just, it was a hard... I didn't want to blur the line between carer and girlfriend.
Yeah, of course.
But she kind of said, any relationship, one person will do the washing for everyone. And she said, I cook dinner for me and the kids anyway. We all sit down. What is it just the feed you? So when you actually look at it, it's just a little bit tagged on to what you already do in your life. But again, she always has to think about me in that way. Like, how am I going to eat? Where am I going to eat? She gets very worried when I go out somewhere and it's like, oh, who's going to feed you? She wants to make sure that I enjoy myself and not worry about all that, but sometimes I don't have a choice. I just have to roll with it. And I'm still here, so I haven't got hungry, but no, I'm very fortunate that she is that kind of nurturer and giver, and she. If you ask her about me, she'll say I'm the most annoying person to live with. I think every man loves to wind their partner up and see how far they can I'm no different to any other relationship. She still expects me to do the things that I can do.
Well, that's it. Like, that's the impression I got from your book. That's how you've been raised by your parents. Like,
absolutely.
There's minimal amount of special treatment possible. Yeah. And she's got 2 kids from a previous relationship.
That's right. Yeah.
How have they been?
They're great. So I was a little bit worried about how that dynamic would work moving in all together.
Of course. Yeah.
Someone said, "Oh, don't you guys live together yet?" I'm like, no, but you just bought this house, mate. Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, that was the biggest kind of worry for me. But to be honest, they've it's brought us a lot closer. Like, we are a family now in the house. Me and the kids, we respect each other. They do love it when I'm a big Broncos fan, so they love watching the sport with me, because I do get quite animated and say some bad words, and they think that's quite funny. But yeah, they're also really good at bringing me back to the level, and they'll tell me now, who would read a book about you? You're so boring. So, it's good. It's a healthy relationship.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you corrupt them. She was telling me before we came into the podcast chat today that after the NRL Grand Final, like you were doing like a naked dash around the house or something.
Yeah, I did get a bit excited, and my auntie did say on but that was quite the game. I think I had 3 heart attacks during that grand final. So yeah, it was just do whatever I could to get through that. But yeah, no, some bad habits, which my mum was also quite worried what impression I'm leaving on the kids.
Yeah. Well, once a bogan, always a bogan, I guess.
Absolutely.
That behaviour sticks with you. Oh, there was one thing. You were actually in the news for this a few years ago, long before the book. There was an incident with Countdown.
Yes, it was.
Now Woolworths. So you went to Countdown and they wouldn't serve you alcohol?
That's right. I went to Countdown. It was just after work with everyone else, and they wouldn't. I went to the same Countdown for years. And I bought the same stuff, and it included a box of beer every time. And this time they just wouldn't allow me to buy the beer because they accused me of being drunk.
Sure, that's a cock up, eh?
I know, and I kind of said to them, well, I'm not drunk
yet.
And I don't really have any. I buy this every week. Like, what's different now about this week? And I don't really recall it word for word, but one of them said something like, "Oh, you can't even stand up straight. How could we possibly serve you?" I'm like, because I have cerebral palsy, and that just went straight over their head. They're like, no, you don't. You're drunk. I'm like, I wish I didn't have fucking cerebral palsy. I wish I was drunk. Jesus. But no, so that was, in that moment, it took me back to, because then everyone was staring at me, right? Like, I made a bit of a fuss, so, and I try not to have, make myself pointed out or whatever, and then everything kind of gets, my movements get worse and I get stressed. But yeah, that moment was like going back to the bullying, I guess, and I'd been pointed out for being different, and in a world where we're supposed to be more accepting of people's differences. Yeah, it was certainly brought up some stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, are there things we can be doing better in New Zealand to support disabled people?
I do think so, and I think, look, you can hate me for this or not, but I do think the disabled community are kind of forgotten about a little bit. We focus a lot on differences in other aspects like cultures and sexuality and being more inclusive of them. Yeah. And look, that is great and it's amazing. But yeah, the amount of disabled people that would like to have a job but don't, there's the real opportunity there to really help. Because you're giving, that's what helped me. I got a purpose. I got to get up in the morning and go and do something, whether it was go to university and study, and then now it's go to work and contribute. So, I do think we could be doing better for disabled people in the workplace. And again, I'm not one to advocate. I'm just here to share my story, but that's where I think there's a bit of a lag or some miseducation out there.
Yeah, that work piece that you're talking about. So you applied, you sent your CV out to 50 different places.
About that.
Yeah, you ended up getting a job at Gem Finance as a financial
correct.
analyst, but that was it was a heartbreak. That's when you went off the rails.
Yeah, that bit between university and getting a job was probably the toughest point in my life. And it was because I think I didn't have a purpose. I couldn't really see why an employer would employ me. I knew I was clever, but you got every business is trying to save every bit of cost because it's hard. The economy is hard. It's like, why would they spend extra money on accommodating me? And look, I know there's you can go for funding and stuff, but then if you've got my CV and you've got an able-bodied version of me, same qualifications, all that, well, I'm just more work than that. And we're all busy, right? I'm not saying it's bad that I'm not having a go at these, but I'm just saying I get it. You're busy, you want the least effort, I guess. But yeah, I felt very, like I was going to be living at home all my life with my parents, and that's not what we'd set out to do with all the therapy. And I was walking now and, got amazing grades at university, and so I enjoy a beer.
With a straw.
Yes, and I busted that myth though. You don't get pissed fast into a straw. I'd be a lot richer if that was true.
Yeah.
But I partied. Going out and was just a way that, because I was accepted in that like clubbing because everyone pissed. So I blended right in, and everything gets a bit easier for my movements and stuff after a few beers. So that was sort of how I wouldn't call it coping, but it was what I did, and I didn't really see a way forward. And there were I did have some thoughts about, what if is it easier just if I just took it all away tomorrow? Especially when I didn't want to get out of bed. There was no purpose. I didn't see a purpose. And I do remember driving along though, I saw a truck and I was like, that'd be easy. And I thought, oh shit, and I'd ruined his life. But that's not fair on the truck driver. It was a low point. That was probably the closest for me having those thoughts. But yeah, I obviously glad that I was something in me just able to kind of not block that out, but just I still knew that wasn't the way. Maybe there was something in the back of my head that there was a little bit of hope, or I was, but I certainly didn't. I didn't feel it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing for anyone that's in that state. You just got to hang on to hope, hang on to the next moment. Your mum in the book, she talks about suicidal ideation as well at a time, and she asked, have you had a discussion about this? Like, that must have been hard for you to read about her, but it must have been hard for her to read about you as well.
And it was actually, we had the same story, right? She thought about doing it in the same way that I did, and we'd never talked about that ever. I was like, oh, wow. So that was interesting, and obviously, glad that we're both still still here. But no, I'm sure we will have a conversation about it, but it's, as a family, I think because we had to just be, celebrating every little win going up. So once I was walking and talking, life just moved on. Like we were just flying, and but yeah, we haven't really had that deep conversation.
Seems like there's a lot of shit that you guys have got to discuss.
We've put it on the book now. It's all out there. Yeah.
If you could go back and talk to your younger self, what would you say? Maybe Mark aged, say, 13 to 17 in the middle of secondary school.
That's a tough one, because I would think I was such a dickhead if I was... The younger me would be like, oh, this dickhead, look, he's got it all worked out. So that's what my younger self would think of me, trying to give him advice. But my advice to me or anyone is, there are people that love you. I knew there were people that loved me. I think that's also why I didn't play in my life, because I also loved them. I loved the people. I didn't want that to stop. And I think, I hope that other people just can find a way to know that they're loved. Like, people want them in this life. Everyone's got... We're all here because we can all contribute. We can all help. And I would tell myself that just to focus. You are loved. People love you. And just they want you around, and you got so many awesome experiences to have with these people. I do my best not to say the words, it will get better, and just keep going, because I would hate to hear that.
Yeah.
But
it's true though, isn't it? But it's you don't want to, when you're going through hell, it seems like it's an impossible thing to imagine.
Absolutely, yeah. The last thing you want to hear is that statement.
Were you just getting a bit emotional then with that answer?
Oh, a little bit, and I think I don't I don't want people to feel like that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the book, that's why the book is there, because it was really hard to write the book, and my mum wanted it to stop because it was bringing up all that trauma again, and but we keep telling ourselves, like, we don't want people to take their own lives, to do that. If that can help one person change that mindset, or just go, oh, okay, it's not that bad, or it was worth us telling that story. And that's why I do a little bit of public speaking. That's my reason behind it. No one should take their own life. It doesn't need to happen. And if I can do something to help with that, I'm gonna fucking do it.
think that last couple of minutes might be the most important part of this podcast. Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good message. I can tell when you get upset, you get really, really animated. Is it painful, uncomfortable, exhausting?
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But not like right now. Like tonight, I'll be, why am I so tired? It's like, that's right.
Yeah.
It's not painful, so don't worry if you're watching this. I'm not in pain. No, it's not painful. It's really hard 'cause I'm literally an open book. I can't really hide my emotions because of the way my body moves. When I do get excited or sad or something, it does. It shows. Which is, quite awkward in funerals because I laugh. I laugh and I talk loud and I also cry loud. So yes, but it does make getting my words out harder. With emotional topics. Yeah, but it's important. It's important to share them, though.
It is. And I can say your speech is fine. Like I've had to listen carefully during this podcast, but no, I can understand everything you say. I haven't had to ask you to repeat anything.
I'm glad, and my speech has gotten better as I've gotten older. Just with
right.
I had a lot of I had braces, which most kids have. That actually really helped with my speech.
Yeah.
And then I found swimming, just the way that you're breathing in and out, was also really helped with my speech. I actually watched a video of myself when I would have been 12 years old. I couldn't understand myself. I didn't know what I was saying. I had to get my sister to translate to translate what I was saying because to me I sound like normal. To me my voice is normal because I know the words I want to say, but obviously it comes out much different to how it sounds in my head.
Oh, that reminds me of another story in the book. You exploiting your sister. Like, so you were 6 years old, she's 4. You had the brain power, but she had the motor skills. So you'd use her to get the lolly jar off the top. Like a co-conspirator in your master crime. God, you're a deviant. You're a nightmare.
No, I taught my sister a few bad habits.
What's your inner voice, inner critic like? Like when you're talking to yourself, what are you like? Are you kind to yourself, or are you hard on yourself?
I'm probably pretty hard on myself. I don't think of myself as a perfectionist, but other people would probably use that word to describe me. I think that's because I've fought but a lot has gone to get me to be who I am. And I want to make sure that I'm there because of my own merits, not for any other reason. So I make a point to always do a job right, get it done properly. And if I do something, everyone makes mistakes, but I do beat myself up, and I tell every boss I've had has just been like, "Right, you got to stop, like, go easy." It was a simple mistake. No one died. It was fine, but to me, I'm prone to just, if it's not done right, it's not done. Why bother? That part of me. Yeah, I'm always trying to make sure I do a good job. But I do when I reflect, not very often, but I'm proud of, I do get proud of myself probably for different reasons that people might think. Like, I'm proud of my job, but I'm more proud of having the lifestyle that I do at home, and just being able to have my mum and dad come and stay in my house. That I'm more proud of that than I am of just about anything else, because it's my way of kind of not thanking them, but just, look what all your hard work did, and now we get to be a family just like anyone else. Yeah.
Yeah, it must be the most gratifying thing. It's like their investment of time and energy has paid off.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine how it is for them. It must be the weirdest feeling, like letting your kid off into the wild.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine how many sleepless nights your mum had, but also how proud she would be.
Yeah, they love the house. They love being in the house. We can't keep Dad still. He's always something to fix because I'm not that handy. But I love that. Yeah.
And what about future goals? How old are you now? Are you 28?
I'm 30.
30? Oh.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, where do you see yourself at, like 35, 40? Do you and Elise want to have your own family, or are you happy with...
No, we're very settled.
Yep.
Very settled. And my stance was, I didn't really, kids were never really a thing for me just because of what went on. I know it's unlikely to ever happen, but that was just too much.
Yeah.
But no, I have a lot of career goals. Like I like to be climbing the ladder at ANZ. I very much enjoy working there. Personal, we'd like to, just, we've joined the rat race, we've paid down our mortgage, and I guess life kind of just looks getting back to just like just having experiences, and with just as a family. I am doing more public speaking, as I said I'd like to. If my message can help, then I'm all for sharing it. So that would be where I kind of see my life trajectory, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the future's going to be very bright. Tonight, I don't know. Do you think you'll be allowed in the house tonight, or are you you're on the deck?
Luckily, my mate, I got a mate back at work, and he'll be waiting for me at the pub. So,
you're a handful. You're a handful. But hey, this has been a great podcast today. It's been really cool.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I've just going to make you feel old, but I grew up listening to you on the radio. So to come and talk to you has been really cool. And you, I touched on it before. I enjoy to talk to genuine people, and you're definitely one of the good guys out there. So keep doing what you're doing, mate, because it's also helping people.
Yeah. Oh, Mark Wilson, you're a great New Zealander. I deliberately didn't bring up your dog, Sandy.
Thank you.
So I'm a dog. My dog, Kanye's been on the floor. He's sleeping next to me. He's been here for the last hour and a half that we've been chatting. But that's something in the book, this dog, Sandy, that you have, and the role that she played on getting you through those teenage years.
Yeah, you just want to make me cry, don't you?
No, I was like, it's going to make me cry. It's going to make you cry.
Maybe we'll leave that for the leader.
It's just the impact of dogs, but the way that you wrote about her so lovingly. I think I'll leave that as a spoiler. So if anyone wants to know about the relationship you had with your dog Sandy, they can get your book Wobbles.
Yeah, and that's a perfect way to
Hey, Mark Wilson, thank you so much, mate. It's been an honour to sit down and chat with you today, and I got a lot out of it, and I'm sure a lot of other people will as well.
Thank you so much for having me, John. It's been great.